Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the DSP Morning Show for Thursday, the 30th of July, 2026. We are almost done with July, if you can believe it. What a month it was. Eventful, full of fun stuff. Crazy schedule for me. And we're ending it strong with great games and summertime vibes. How y'all doing this morning? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the show. Today, we'll get you all caught up. We had some events last night that happened on the late stream that I want to let you all in on if you weren't around, because it will affect the schedule moving forward. Honestly, probably in a good way. And I'm excited for all the fun stuff that's going to be going on next week. We actually have multiple new releases, although I do have some developments in that regard as well in regards to my schedule for next week, because we actually have a little bit of a schedule change around to talk about, but we'll get to it. How's everyone this morning? Let's see who we got today. We start off today with Tommy Versetti. How you doing? Dark Lady Goth, KO for the win, Slick Fury, Bunnies and Gaming. How you doing? Rorico, good morning. Step Mom, Ken BR. Who else do we got? Lord Bliss, Fat Walrus, 8th ban. Is it really your 8th ban? Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe you should stop getting banned. Netmuck is here. That Kid Pulley is here. Assassin Gamer, good morning. Scotty Doo and the Mad Villain, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? What is up? What is up? I hope you're doing well. Kyrie, please, how you doing? And more. We have more people joining as I speak. Good stuff, good vibes today. Chill vibes. As I was saying, I said this to the audience before I started recording the morning show on the stream. Very chill day today. Today we're going to be continuing on with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced and with Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. So with Resynced, what I found is these streams have been very open-ended, not necessarily guided and doing set stuff, but instead it's like, oh, maybe we'll do a story mission. Ooh, look, a base takeover. Oh, let's do some hunting and upgrading for resources. Oh, now let's go hunt a Templar. And the game's great like that because it is made in a way with so much open world content that you can jump around the content, not really knowing what you're going to do next, but still have a lot of fun. And I really like that they've designed it that way. I think it's a great game in that regard. In the case of Final Fantasy VI, that's my favorite RPG of all time. The first two streams that we've done have been absolutely outstanding. Tonight, we're going to continue on and actually kind of finish up the intro of the game to get into what we would consider more of the meat of the game and the main focus. So, I'm excited for all of that. I hope that you guys are. How is everyone today? You all good? You all in good spirits? I know it's early. I literally started like 11:30 on the dot this morning. And so because of that, we actually don't have as many people as normal. Usually we'd have a few more people chatting it up, and it's a little slow today, but that's fine. This is the build-up show. That's the point of the morning show, is to build up attendance before we jump into the gameplay for the day. Shinzo Moon asks, will Final Fantasy VI always be a night stream? Likely, yes. In fact, this is what we actually need to discuss today on the show. So here's what's going to happen. We have a game that's out of the rotation, Palworld, and we'll talk about that in a moment, why I'm not playing Palworld anymore. However, next week, we actually have several new releases, including Beast of Reincarnation, which is a big question mark. No one's sure if this game will be good or not. It's actually the first outing by Game Freak as a solo outing, not being backed by Nintendo and not being a Pokemon game. So no one knows if that's going to be any good. We also have Marvel Tokon, which also is a big question mark. Will it be a good game? Will the online play work? Will the PC version be good? And no one knows. Based on the beta, it was very hit or miss. Like, oh, like some things just weren't very good. So, in my opinion, next week will be a good week, but we're going to have to mix things up. The schedule might have to be shuffled around. Right now, the 3 daytime streams that we've been playing have been Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin with the path tracing mod on PC, and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. But what I'm thinking is next week, we're going to have night streams of some of those games. I just don't potentially see us having all 3 of those as daytime streams, plus Beast of Reincarnation, plus Marvel Tokon. Like, how are we going to have time, right? So likely what we'll do next week is start shuffling stuff about. And I guess the question that I have for all of you, in regards to that schedule I just explained, right? Of the 3 games that I'm playing as daytime streams right now, which would you be willing to play as a night or to watch, as a night stream if I played it on a night stream? Because I was thinking about this. I'm like, well, Assassin's Creed has a nice chill daytime audience and a bunch of regulars. Like, I noticed when we play Assassin's Creed, there's certain people here that wouldn't normally be here otherwise. And I like that. I like having a regular crowd for a certain game in the rotation. In regards to Dark Souls, I feel like no matter when I play Dark Souls, you're going to get a rowdy crowd who's here to kind of like watch me either suffer or persevere over a very difficult game. Pokemon, we have done Pokemon both as day streams and night streams. Pokemon has worked both as day streams and night streams, but at the same time, there have been times when I put Pokemon on a late stream and it didn't work. And people complained and said, oh, we can't make it, and that's, we're sad that you made it a night stream, put it back to days. So we're almost, from what I'm to understand, we're almost at the story ending of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, but there's also going to be post-game content like there always is in Pokemon games. We're roughly 30 hours in, and anytime I play a Pokemon game, it usually takes around 40 hours to kind of get through it. So I think we have like one more gym, and then the final things you do after the gym, I think people are saying it's the Elite Four and the end of the game, but then after that, there is some secret post-game Pokemon and stuff to go catch. So probably a few more streams to Pokemon, but we are coming near the end of it, right? So yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, next week, I feel like we have to take some daytime streams and shuffle them tonight. And then that will make room on day streams to try out Beast of Reincarnation to play Marvel Tokon. I think Final Fantasy VI is going to have to stay as night streams at this point. As much as I would love to play it as a day stream because I love the game, it kind of is the downtime, summertime stream, if that makes sense. It is. It's the game that isn't necessarily going to put butts in seats. It's a retro game for me. It's a classic game. It's my favorite RPG of all time. But I know that it's not going to be doing great when it comes to like huge attendance or anything like that. In addition, I don't have to kind of rush through it. Like other games that are more pertinent, newer games, people want to see at a more rapid pace. You're going to want to see me play more of Beast of Reincarnation if it's good. And you're going to want to see me play more of Marvel Tokon if it's good because they're new games. As opposed to Final Fantasy VI is an ancient game. We can play it whenever we want. There's no rush, right? We can take our time with it, slow burn it all throughout August into September, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And, FYI, I think next week will be interesting as we adjust day streams to night streams to make room for the new games. But I think Final Fantasy VI will stay as a night stream, for now. Okay. Oh, you want me to react to that Resident Evil trailer today? Okay, remind me out in a little bit after we get to that Q&A segment. I guess that we could do that. I'm okay with that. I do have to talk a little bit about schedule and Palworld and all of that. I want to talk about DSP Tries It because we really got to figure out what we're going to do next week. So we'll look at that today. And then likely we will maybe react to that Resident Evil trailer. Sounds good. Oh, are they doing it again? All right, let me put up the message. It looks like I didn't put up the message, so of course they're going to do it today now. Honestly, I thought that it ended because they didn't do it yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay, well, if they're not going to do it, then I don't have to put the messages up anymore, and then they do it, so. All right, fine, there you go, there's your pinned message. Woohoo. Can I please, why won't they let me pin the message, stupid thing? There we go. Okay. All right, folks. All right, so, let's talk about everything going on. Let's start with Palworld so we can talk about that and get out of the way. And then we can talk about next week where I want to figure out DSP tries it. And then we'll go from there. Okay? So, oh, by the way, we got to talk about next week's schedule, which is kind of weird. There's something going on. So, we'll talk about that anyway. All right. Palworld last night. We made the determination. We've basically hit the exact same point in 2026 that I hit playing Palworld in 2024. What do I mean? We beat the first boss. The game starts to open up. You start to explore more, catch more pals, and do dungeons. Okay? And at this point, when I was playing Palworld in 2024, it fell right off. And what I mean is people said, oh, this is boring now. We don't want to see this anymore. We've seen the premise of the game. We get it. It's kind of boring. Please stop playing. And I did. Okay? Personally, I liked the game, but people told me we don't like it anymore. We get it. Please move on. Last night, I was playing Palworld. Now remember, last stream we had beaten the first boss. So I said, okay, so what we're going to do tonight, we're just going to open world explore. We're going to catch a whole bunch of new pals because that'll obviously help us, in combat and also on the base camp and everything. And that's just the premise of what we're doing tonight, exploration. So we did for a whole hour. Went down to the beach and we're exploring, was doing all this stuff. Recruited a whole bunch of new pals and stuff. Did 2 dungeons. 2 dungeons, actually. And basically, while we're finishing it, right, I'm like, okay. And the chat is almost completely disengaged. Almost no one in chat is talking about Palworld whatsoever. All right? And in the hour that I played Palworld, I made $7. All right? Before I started playing Palworld, we hung out just like we're doing right now and talked for about 30 minutes. And during that 30 minutes, I made like $50 just chatting with the audience. Okay? So as soon as I started playing Palworld, the audience disengaged, disconnected, paid no attention. And then basically what I did is I sat down with the audience again. I said, guys, let's reassess then. If you guys really don't like this game, I'm not forced to play it. It's not like it used to be where I used to buy a game and be committed to playing it from start to finish. We can do whatever you want. And overwhelmingly, the audience said, this game is boring. We don't want it. We like that you went back to it because now we know what it is. It's basically the same as it was 2.5 years ago. We're bored. Okay. So I said, I guess that's it. What else are you going to do? The truth is, I like it. I like the idea of a big sandbox, open world exploration like Breath of the Wild, catching tons of these pals, getting abilities and combat stuff from the pals, being able to ride them as mounts or whatever. I like that idea. I like that there's dungeons. I like that there's boss towers. It's a fun idea. I think it's fun to play. I don't necessarily know if it's fun to watch. And from the feedback that I got, it's not. Just like 2.5 years ago, even though, yes, the game looks better now. The game's been tweaked, so now it's more stable. It's more polished. There's a lot more to it. It's still the same game, and that game didn't work 2.5 years ago, and it's not working now. So I'm not going to force you guys to watch a game you just don't want to watch. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Now, of course, what's funny about all of this is the serious fact that I bought a box of Palworld cards. Because if you remember, it was like 3 weeks ago on stream, you guys said, hey, Phil, are you going to buy the Palworld trading card game? Because you're unboxing everything else and you're playing Palworld. So it would make sense. And I said, oh, they have a Palworld trading card game? Well, I wasn't aware of that. And right now we're just starting Palworld. Remember, Palworld just had its 1.0 release like 2-3 weeks ago. And basically, we were wondering, would it be any good? And I said, well, let me hold off on buying these trading cards until we play Palworld enough. And we determine if it's something that you guys would like. Because what if I play Palworld and you guys just hate it right off the bat? Then there's absolutely no point in getting these trading cards, right? No one's going to care. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited. You want to know when I bought the cards? Over the weekend. It was actually last week, because if you remember, we had the Final Fantasy box of cards, right? And basically, we had this crazy weekend where everyone went nuts supporting me. And then I ended up opening a ridiculous amount of card boxes. I was like, wow, we went through them so fast. And I know that you guys always want to have them. So I got to get others. Like, what can I get? And I started looking. I was like, okay, I can order this one fast. That's how I ended up getting the One Piece cards. But what else? And I said, oh, that's right. We had talked about 2 weeks ago, the Palworld cards. And I looked them up. and it basically said that they would ship them as soon as they could, and they would come within a few days of release. They actually released today, the Palworld cards. The thing was, you can't buy them from the supplier. Unlike Pokemon cards, that if you get lucky, you can buy them direct from Pokemon Center and you can have them on release day. There was no actual way to buy Palworld cards from the manufacturer. They don't even have them for order on the site. So basically, there were resellers, I guess, who have like the ins on how to get them, and they already had them. You could buy them direct. That's what I did. I bought them from like a business that sells cards. So it officially was a business. It wasn't like a reseller. It was a real business, a card business. So I bought it from them, and they already mailed it. Like, they mailed it 2 days ago, so they had them early. And it looks like it's actually coming this weekend, probably on Saturday. In fact, let me check to see if there's been an update. Just for the sake of it, let's see. According to this, they're still estimating a Saturday delivery because they're actually shipping it across the whole country. It's coming from the East Coast, so it's en route right now. So it's just kind of weird because I bought the Palworld cards, they're en route, and this is when people get bored of Palworld, say we don't want it anymore. So we're going to get this box of cards. Now, there's good and bad news. Obviously, the bad news is the cards may not be much of a demand because we're not playing the game anymore. Maybe people won't give a crap about the cards, right? However, the good news is the card box was tiny anyway. It was only 12 packs. Yeah, compared to any other box of cards that I've opened, this is by far the least amount of packs. Like, Pokemon cards in English have 36 packs, okay? And in Japanese have 30. Magic the Gathering has 30 packs, okay? One Piece has 24 packs. Palworld has 12 packs. It's almost like they don't have confidence in their cards. So they made it so that it's really small boxes or something. I don't know. Anyway, so they are coming. We'll probably have them for next week, but it may very well just be kind of a quick gimmick thing where no one really cares about them simply because we're not playing Palworld anymore. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see when they show up. We can talk about how to open them. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we do it as bonus packs or something. I don't know. Because I don't know if there's going to be motivation for people to contribute to having open cards for a game I dropped because you guys don't like the game. You know? Then again, the other weird thing about the Palworld cards, absolutely no one is going to understand their value because it's a brand new trading card game. Unlike all the other stuff that I've been unpacking that are all established, this game is brand spanking new. So it very well could be that the cards are worth a ton, or they could be worth absolutely zero. No one knows. So there's not a way to really price them or anything at first. You know, give it a few months perhaps, see if it catches on, see if they're in demand, then maybe we'll see. That's right. Rorico just said you may get a hit and it's not worth anything for years. Well, that's the thing. When it's a new set, no one even understands the rarity of the cards, right? We could very well open a pack and get a crazy card and, okay, it's worth nothing. But then in 3 months, figure out, oh, there's not that many of that card. That card's worth $1,000. That's how trading card games work. So anyway, yeah, so that's coming. That'll be for next week. We'll figure it out, I guess, when it arrives. Currently, we're opening One Piece. After that, we're going to go back to the pitch black box of Pokemon. And after that, we'll talk and we'll figure out what's next. Okay, it's going to end up being what's readily available, right? Like, I don't know what's going to be readily available. For the record, there actually is a Pokemon card crash happening, but it's not as bad as people think. Basically, what's happened is the overall value of Pokemon cards has gone down slightly. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, some of the cards that we have on this wall have decreased in value a little bit. So this guy right here, what's his name? Topico. When we got him from the Abyss Eye set of Japanese cards about a month ago, he was worth like 13, 14 bucks. Now he's down to like 11. Okay. Is that world shaking, earth breaking? No, not really. Okay. Not really at all. But you know where it's hurting? Resellers. Because overall, who's going to get hurt most by a general loss of value of Pokemon cards? The people who are trying to scalp them for a lot of money. Particularly, I've been looking, for availability of boxes and pricing. And across the board, the pricing on Pokemon cards is going down. For example, a box of these, the Chaos Rising set, which was the first set that we were really majorly opening, right? And this, I got my big hit. This is my most valuable card. Now, he was worth 380. Now he's worth 240. Yeah, I'm not kidding. He declined that much in value in the 2 months that I've had him, right? So this box of cards was going for over $300. It's now down to like roughly $250, and it's actually getting even cheaper by the day. Like every time I check it, it's cheaper. So what's happening is, overall, the pricing of a box of cards or, you know, a bundle, etc., is dropping. Why? Because in general, the value of the cards is going down slightly, but when you're selling them in bulk in a box, well, then the whole box is devalued by a good amount. So that's what's happened. So perhaps what we'll do is wait till, say, like maybe early next week, because I feel like I really don't think we're gonna blow through the One Piece and the Pitch Black cards by like Sunday. I just don't foresee that. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday, 3 days, I don't think so. So I think what we can do is by Sunday, Monday, see how things are going. By then I'll have the Palworld cards too, and then take a look and see what's readily available. I've noticed not only the English cards, but also Japanese cards have all gone down in pricing, and you can get them more readily now because no one's really buying them. I think what's really happened is there's a big hype coming up for the new 30th anniversary set that's coming out in September. So everyone's anticipating that. Everyone's trying to buy those because they really feel like those are going to have tons of value. Since that's happening, all of the value of everything else has dropped. So it may be really easy and cheaper to get the cards now compared to how it was tougher. Remember I told you, it's hard to get them? Yeah, if the pricing goes down, that's great. Like, I'll be honest with you, I would really like to get another box of Surging Sparks because we liked Surging Sparks. That was the set where we got the amazing Pikachu and the awesome Hydreigon. And the set itself looked really nice. But it's an expensive box. It's over $300 for that box. So I've held off on getting another Surging Sparks box. The pricing goes down. Maybe more viable to do, and it might be more readily available if less people would want the box. You see? So let's see what happens. I guess we will talk about this early next week. We'll see what's available. We'll go from there. Okay? Cool. All right. So next week, okay, I have an update. I'm off on Saturday. I'll be back on Sunday. I'll be streaming all week for 5 days. Meaning I'll be here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm going to be off on Friday and Saturday. That's the first time I've had 2 days off in a very long time. I need the time off because I actually have now been backed up on stuff. This month's been wild, like I told you. My schedule's been crazy. I've been having appointments and weird things going on. And because of that, everything's kind of thrown aloof a bit. I'm out of a lot of stuff. Like, we have to go and stock up on food and stuff. Remember, we have the freezer now in our garage. We're almost out of food. Like, oh, crap. Well, I don't want to go start buying stuff every single week again and pay full price. I want to go stock up at wholesale clubs. I want to save money. I got to stock up on everything again. So we're going to need a couple of days off to do that. So that means that Friday, August 6th, and Saturday, August 7th, I'm not here. But that creates kind of a problem. Why? Because Friday, August 6th, is the release of Marvel Tokon. So you might say, well, that kind of sucks. You're not going to be here for the release day of Marvel Tokon. I'm not. Okay, I'll be here that Sunday. When I come back, August 8th, that'll be my big Tokon day. However, considering the state of Marvel Tokon during the beta, this might very well be a good thing. And you might say, what do I mean by that? Well, did you see me play the beta on Friday? It wasn't pretty. That beta was pretty bad. The online play was atrocious. Trying to do ranked or casual matches in matchmaking almost never worked. And when it did, it lagged 95% of the time. I think I had one match that didn't lag. The rest were actually horrible connections. And then the only way to play was the lobby system. And with the lobbies, you play people from anywhere in the world, resulting in one-bar connections that are atrocious. So, really, on launch day, I bet you it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be a big, horrendous mess. And I bet it would take them a bit, maybe a couple days of testing again, to get this thing fixed to the point where it's going to run well. So, maybe it's a good thing that I'm not going to be trying to play this thing on launch day, because it could just be a horrendous, laggy, busted mess that then they will patch. And hopefully they will fix. You know what I'm saying? I guess we'll have to see. So, yeah, it sucks. I know some people will be disappointed and be like, I can't believe it. You're not going to be here for launch day of Marvel ToeCon? Well, no. But I will be here a couple days later, and I am going to cover the game. And I'm going to try both the offline content, which seems like there's a bunch of campaigns based on character teams, like the Avengers and the X-Men and stuff like that. That could be neat. And then I'm also going to try to play it online as it, like any other fighting game, and play it competitively and see how it goes. Personally, I don't even know if I'm going to like it. I guess we'll have to see. All right, so just to forewarn everyone, will I be here next week? Absolutely, for 5 days. But I'm not going to be here Friday, Saturday of next week. But then I'll be back after that, and we'll get back into normalcy, okay? Now, one other thing. We got to figure out what we want to start doing for DSP Tries It again. For a few weeks now, we've had some ideas and things that we did. We had the Burger King stuff that actually worked out pretty well. We had the Jollibee stuff that wasn't so good. So now I want to figure out what do we want to do on Monday. And there's a few options. Option number one, which we've already talked about, is that Jack in the Box has a new Philly cheesesteak oriented menu, meaning they actually have a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, but then they have a burger that they're claiming is like a Philly cheesesteak that has like the roasted peppers and stuff on it too. So we could essentially just do a cheesesteak fiesta where we try to get all those items and try and see if any of them are any good. Okay? Outside of that, I just don't know what else to do. Like, I've been looking at stuff. I'm not seeing anything very interesting. But if you guys have suggestions, I'm all ears this morning of what do you think I should do? Are there any new items or anything available that I should do for DSP Tries It next week? Because we need to start brainstorming so we can set it and, you know, get people excited for it, get me ready, set up for it, you know, rather than me trying to scramble last minute to figure something out. By the way, thank you. Hanslander had done a $2 Canadian super chat saying I look like Ricky Gervais. Thank you, Hanslander. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see what that is. What's the Canadian exchange rate today? That's $1.43. Okay. All right. So what do you guys think? Does anyone know of any items going on right now that you want me to look into? Or should we just say, hey, let's just check out the Jack in the Box stuff? Let's see. Yeah, they're showing it right now. The Philly cheesesteak combo and a Philly munchies meal. So they have the Philly cheesesteak sandwich itself, and then they have the burger, which is like a double burger with Swiss cheese and the toppings, same toppings they put on the cheesesteak, they put on the burger. Yeah. Grilled onions, peppers, and melty Swiss cheese. Could be good. It could also be terrible. So that's an idea. Let's see. Pizza, we looked into Papa John's. All they're doing is a pepperoni stuffed crust, which is terrible. It's exactly the same as they always do, just with pepperoni in it, so there's nothing there. Let's look at Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut throwback value menu. They brought back the old school breadsticks, which is hilarious. The actual old breadsticks that were good, they're claiming they're back. Triple cheese mac, that looks absolutely disgusting. Oh my god, like that looks really heinous. I gotta show you. Are you ready? I don't know if you're ready. Where will you see this? So first off, this is the breadsticks they actually used to have, the ones that were squared at the end. And they actually are a little crispy and toasted, and they sprinkle that Parmesan cheese on top. They were actually really good. And then at one point they said, oh, we're lazy like everyone else. And they just made their breadsticks a big lump of dough where they just pre-cut them and you have to rip it apart yourself and it tastes like ass. So it looks like they actually brought this back. This looks insanely disgusting. Look at that. That looks like a pool of oil. That's just nasty. It looks like snot. Look at that. Like, who would eat that? And look at this. Are you kidding? I didn't even look down. S'mores sticks? Oh, God. At some point, someone has to start holding these companies accountable for actually presenting this as food. Like, you remember the foot-long cookies at Subway that we tried like 2 years ago, and I had one. It was completely inedible. It actually tasted like chemicals. Like, what do you think this is going to taste like here? Seriously. That's 100% just, that's all chemicals formed into the shape of something that they think looks edible. It's not. Like, that's got to be disgusting. So this is all they're doing at Pizza Hut. Nothing. See, nothing right now. So that's their amazing menu. I mean, that looks absolutely revolting. That's why I stay away from that shit, because it just doesn't look good. Let's look at Domino's. Let's see. S'mores lava cakes. Oh. Oh. No. They have nothing. Yeah, I don't even know. Like I said, do you guys know of anything? I'm looking here. I don't see anything. And that's kind of the problem, is there's really not much going on in the realm of food. People aren't that interested. Panda Express has hot orange chicken. Yeah, but we just did Panda Express a couple months ago. So I want to go back there again. It's going to be the same, you know? It's going to be exactly the same as it was. It's not going to be any different. James, we just did that. Oh, McDonald's is going to have a Spider-Man meal? Is that true? Right now, all they have is the Caesar sauce. That's it. Yeah, right now they just have the stupid Caesar sauce, which isn't that interesting. Basically what they did, they have a bacon Caesar McCrispy, a Caesar snack wrap, and just the Caesar sauce by itself. It's Caesar dressing. Like, literally, it's Caesar dressing. Oh, I'm going to go to McDonald's because they have Caesar dressing. You know, the Caesar dressing that you can buy and put on anything yourself. Oh, go to McDonald's to get it. Why? I can't go to the grocery store? I can't go to the market and get it myself? We tried the Fajita Street Chalupas, James. They were disgusting and bland as shit. They were terrible. So basically, what I'm getting at here is, as you can see, there's just not much going on in the realm of fast food these days. We've kind of gone to all the unique, interesting places that are near me. So I could go back. Like, should I go back to Katsu Burger again? Sure. Could I go back to Shake and Go again? Yes. Could I go back to Salty Blue or the place where we got the meat pies? Yes. But it's just going to be doing the same thing again, which we've already done, right? Or fast food, but as you can see, there's not much going on. I would say right now, the only thing right now would probably be that Jack in the Box Philly cheesesteak and the burger. Like, that sounds interesting. I was going to go to Arby's. Arby's has a summertime menu. It's the new chicken salad sandwich where it's like chicken with cranberries and almonds and other things together. And also they have an orange smoothie shake. So it's all unique summertime menu. Sold out immediately. Hasn't been in stock for 3 weeks. So basically what it is, they said, oh, we have a summertime menu. And then they didn't actually ship any of the ingredients to any of their stores, and none of the franchisees bought them. So they don't have the menu. It's just not available. It's listed on all the apps. It's listed on their website as sold out. You just can't get it. Sounds like a good marketing ploy, doesn't it? So I guess we're not doing that. So yeah, yeah, I don't know what else is going on. That's the thing. So, yeah, so I think what we'll do, unless anyone comes up with a better idea, next week we'll maybe do Jack in the Box, okay? And then after that, let's talk and see if we can figure out what would be the next thing to do. But I don't know at this point. Maybe we give it a break, right? Maybe we actually give it like a week off until maybe more things are going on in food, because right now there's just like nothing going on. Like Little Caesars has a Spider-Man tie-in pizza. Do you want to know what it is? So they take the pepperoni and they cut it into strips and they put it on the pizza like that in strips instead of round. You hear this music? This is the soundtrack they played when the genius came up with that idea. So, yeah, anyway. At this point, like I said, let's probably do Jack in the Box, and hopefully something will happen in the next week, and if not, maybe we give it a week off. I don't know. We'll have to see, but not a lot going on in the realm of food right now, to be frank, okay? All right. All right, so we covered Palworld. We covered next week's schedule, which is going to be different. 5 days instead of the normal 6, but then after that, I'll be back for Marvel Tokon. We covered the fact that a lot of the day streams may become night streams next week to make room, because we're going to try this new Beast of Reincarnation game on Tuesday. And we covered the card talk, right? We covered that. So, I think we covered pretty much all the topics that I wanted to discuss. I'm almost positive we covered everything. So, oh, and the app for cards is fixed. I don't know what happened yesterday. Their servers were all screwed up. It's fixed now. So now today when we open cards, I'll be able to scan the One Piece cards and actually get values again, which is good, because it was really hard yesterday to figure that out. The One Piece cards, I just don't understand why they've done this. The way you figure out the rarity of one of these cards, in the bottom right-hand corner, in the smallest, most microscopic type you could possibly see, is listed a rarity. It's so small, I can't see it, even with my glasses on, and the camera on my phone can't pick it up, because it's so small, I have to get close with the phone, and the phone starts to lose focus and blur. I literally can't read it. It's insane why they did it like that. Like, do they think that everyone has insanely good, like microscope vision to see the rarity of your card? It's very bizarre. So, the camera started working again, thankfully. So today, when we open packs, we'll be able to see what we're doing. Onye Shodimu did a $10 super chat, says, do you deduct the cost of meals for DSP Tries It as a business expense for your channel? Honest, upfront answer, I never have and never will. Nope. I do not do that. Why? It's a very simple reason why. Because that's not my real business. Do you understand? If my channel was based around fast food taste testing, and that was the main focus of my channel, and that's what made money, I could say that's all a business expense, and I could actually write it off, okay? But in this case, doing DSP Tries It isn't a moneymaker for me. It's actually not done for the purposes of business. It's just done for fun, because it's a nice special thing to do for you guys. I know you guys like the show. You've liked it since I revived it 2.5 years ago, and you want to see it continue. So because of that, and because it's not at all in regard to any kind of profits or money making that I'm doing for my business, I don't write any of it off. In truth, I never did. Even back in the day when it was actually a piece of content that I was trying to make money on, I didn't write it off then either. Just listen to this person. So you put it behind a paywall, question mark? What are you talking about? DSP Tries It has not been a show based on any paywall whatsoever this entire year. Every single episode of DSP Tries It that I have done since December has been based off of let's just do it for fun. You realize it's the end of July, right? Where have you been for the last 7-8 months of your life? Some people are just really stupid. Anyway, Anye, thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. I got a $2 tip. Do you think your wife would enjoy trying to make something from Tasting History Cookbook? That would be fairly unique. I have no idea what that means. What is Tasting History Cookbook? Is that a real physical cookbook? Or is it something else? In truth, our meals now are based more around health and nutrition than gimmicks or, honestly, based on, like, flavor. So, like, even though a themed cookbook might make sense, I don't know if we would do that because we're trying to eat healthy. We don't want to eat something that would be, like, bad for you. And I don't know what tasting history is. James says, I think there'll be some new things in August once the month kicks off. I hope so. I do hope that August will have some fun stuff. Typically, summer does have good fun food stuff. And I'm surprised that this year, it seems relatively dead. Or the things, once again, what's happened is in fast food, they just stopped trying. Like it used to be, oh, let's have effort. So let's have a new item. Let's have a summertime menu of exclusive limited time things that you want to come and get. Now it's, oh, let's take the pepperonis and let's chop them into strips and put them on the pizza instead of round. That'll get people to your store, for sure. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we cut our burgers in half? And we can call it the half-C burger special. And sell them as halves now instead of whole burgers. That'll get people to the store, right? No one's ever done that before. Why not just do halves, right? And then you could say it's healthier because you're only eating half as much. And by the way, you could charge more. Like, let's say, for example, the Whopper right now is $10. I know that sounds insane, but let's say the Whopper is $10 at Burger King, because it is. So you could cut it in half and sell half a Whopper for $5.50. So you actually make more money on the sale because you're upcharging the half, but you could say it's less fat and calories, and you can make money on it. This is a great idea. Why doesn't Burger King hire me? I'll get some good menu items on there. Anyway. Okay. All right, folks. Well, I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. Thank you to Onye and Hanslander for the early support. You guys know how it works. Let me reiterate for maybe those who don't. On today's stream, we're going to be chilling and playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync. Should be nice open world chill fun. I'm sure, as usual, you guys will be giving me advice on where should I go, what should I do, what's a good idea at this point in the game for content. I don't know if we want to do another Templar mission. We just finished one. Or if we want to go back to the main story today. We'll see. But it should be a chill afternoon stream. Now, I have a box of One Piece cards. So far, we have opened 9 packs of these cards, and I like them a lot. I like the looks of the cards, the design. I think that the art is outstanding, and the hits, like that card I just showed you of Ace, look really, really good, okay? This box could have a card worth over $1,000 in it. They actually have very valuable cards in these sets, all right? So, how does this work? Well, it's based on the level of support that you give a stream. If today someone does a $50 contribution, whether that be a super chat, whether that be a tip via PayPal, maybe someone does 10 subs over on Kick or 5,000 kicks, whatever it may be, $50 contribution, that's guaranteed we're opening a pack of cards today, okay? If we get to $100 of cumulative support between everyone who supports on this stream, that's a pack of cards. If we get to 150, that's a pack. 200, that's a pack. Every 50 therein is a pack. If someone does a big contribution today of $100, we open an ultra premium pack of Prismatic Evolutions Pokemon cards where you can get a God pack where every card is a hit of the EV Evolutions, and that pack would be worth like $3,000. Okay? That's pretty cool. If we reach $250 cumulative on this stream, we also will open one of those packs of Prismatic Evolutions. All right? So, we open packs at the end of the stream on a show that I call DSP Pack Rips. If we are going to have 2 or more packs, we do an episode. So I just want to make it known, if we don't get to the $100 of support, or if we don't get a $50 contribution today, right, we're not opening anything. If we do get to the 100, but then we don't have enough to qualify for a second pack opening, I'm going to save that pack for the late stream tonight. Why? Because I do a show called DSP Pack Rips, and opening one pack of cards would take a whopping 3 minutes, and the show would suck. It's better to have multiple packs saved up together, so I do only 2 or more, then I do the show. So, today, if you're chilling, if you like the content, if you've enjoyed this morning show, if you're going to stick around for Assassin's Creed, and if you like my channel and the content I put out, please consider supporting it in some way. Every little bit helps. It all adds up, and we get cumulative rewards at the end of the stream, seeing what kind of awesome cards I can pull from One Piece. Okay? Here you go. All right. We have chatted, and I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. We got some extra time. Ladies and gentlemen, tag me in the chats, and let's see what you want to talk about. Let's do some Q&A. Okay? Cool. Let's see here. Bean says live reveal. The pack rips are on this channel. It's in a playlist for itself. It is called DSP Pack Rips. You can find it right here on the channel. Want me to show you? Here, let me show you. Okay, so here we are. Ready? Hold on, this idiot is spamming again. So here we are on DSPGaming on YouTube. And, well, actually, I didn't update it. This should actually say live right now. Let's see. There we go. And you just scroll down past For You, which is your personalized feed. And if you scroll past DSP stream highlights and the Final Fantasy and go all the way down here. These are my ongoing podcasts and shows. And here it is. DSP Pack Rips July 2026 onward. As you can see, yesterday's 2 episodes are there. But then it's just the ongoing playlist all the way back to it's actually the very, final days of June. So it's been going for about a month. And we already have, a ton of episodes. So there you go. There's the playlist, and that's how you find it. Okay? Cool. We haven't done highlights in a while, Soul at 2 a.m., because he says, what's the status of the highlight videos? We haven't done any because, honestly, let's be honest, it's been a dead summer for gaming, right? Since early June, when we had that week that would have been E3 week, and we had all the new game announcements, GTA hype, and all of that, pretty much nothing has happened. There's been no big updates on anything, right? Nothing. The one big story has been Sony saying they're going to get rid of physical copies. And I was going to do a highlight video about that. I actually talked about it on a show. And my editor was on vacation and wasn't able to edit for me. And I said, oh, that sucks. And so after that, to be honest, nothing has happened. Take a look at the last few weeks. It's been dead. There haven't been any big new release games for me to do highlights of. There's been no controversies to talk about. There's been no gaming news going on. So there's just nothing happening. And the thing is, I'm not going to pay my editor to make a video for me that has no traction and no one cares about because nothing's going on. Okay? Eventually, some stuff will happen. There'll either be a big game news story to talk about, or there'll be something controversial, or a new game will come out and it'll be hyped to talk about. But right now, there's not. So because of that, I haven't put out highlight videos in quite some time because there's nothing to highlight. We are just doing summer downtime content. It's still chill fun and I'm still doing really well. But there's nothing to really hype up with a highlight. That's why you haven't seen one recently. No, I haven't bought a physical copy of a game in 100 years. Would a death highlight video be funny and do well for Dark Souls? Probably not. People have seen me die in Dark Souls 5 zillion times. It's nothing special. I doubt that it would do any numbers. I mean, let me put it this way. The gameplay highlights that I've done on the channel have actually done the worst of any highlights. Okay? A couple thousand views. 4,000 views. All right. That doesn't do anything for me. That doesn't really bring any new engagement to the channel. It also doesn't make me any money. I lose money on the deal because I pay more for the video to be made than the video will make. The videos that do well are the ones that are on hot topics. Me telling you about my thoughts about Crimson Desert or, First Light 007, or talking about a controversial game news story or stuff like that. Those did numbers, right? They did really well. And I like that kind of content for the channel. It brings new eyes to the channel. Those videos hit the algorithm. People can find them, get them in related videos or suggested videos. So the gameplay highlights pretty much will never show up like that, but the hot topics will. So when a new hot topic happens and I have a take on it, we're definitely going to do that content. But the gameplay stuff, like I will do gameplay montages for very pertinent games. Maybe when the new Call of Duty comes out, when GTA 6 is out, that's when that stuff makes sense. Not for just willy-nilly games here and there. They're never going to do well. Philip, it's good to see you. I hope you're enjoying your vacation. Thanks for stopping by. I have signed up for the Dusk Bloods network test. I believe sometime in August we're going to be notified if we got in or not. So when I get my feedback on that, I'll let you know if I got in or not. Outside of that, obviously I'm interested in playing it when it really comes out, but no one knows when it comes out yet. Tommy Versetti, I'm not really well versed on piracy. I couldn't tell you who my favorite pirate is. Yeah, you know what? I guess we should talk about that. Night Rain. Anyone even remember Night Rain? So weird that it was announced pretty much out of nowhere. Hey, look, we're releasing a new FromSoft game, but it's an online-only co-op game, right? And everyone was wondering, would it be any good or whatever? And it came out, and people talked about it for like a month, and they did do updates to it over the course of last year, but no one talks about Night Rain anymore, right? Like, that was a total just fart in the wind. Like, everyone played it for like a minute and said, oh, this is what it is, and then no one ever spoke of it again. I have never played Sid Meier's Pirates. No, I have not. Oh, so yeah, I still don't know what happened. This is so weird. Let's talk about this briefly. So something very bizarre happened the other day, like 2-3 days ago, okay? So after my first stream ended, I went, as usual, to upload all of my videos, okay? And I started uploading the morning show. That was uploading fine, no problem. And then I went to upload DSP Pack Rips, which is my show where I open the cards and I have a special episode, for it. And it's the same thing that you do anytime you upload a video to YouTube. What you do is you say upload and a window pops up. It says drag the video into here. And once it's, dragged in, it starts to upload. Then you can put in all your metadata, like the name of the video, tags, put it in a playlist, description, etc. So I dragged the video of DSP Pack Rips into the window. It just lags for a second, and then my PC turns off. I mean, it turns off. It's not, oh, the browser froze. Oh, there was a blip. The PC just turned off completely. Okay? I was like, what just happened? Okay? So I restarted the PC, got it all set up again, went to the same window, said, let's resume the upload on the morning show. So I did, and that resumed fine and started uploading again, no problem. Okay, let's upload. the pack ribs. And I dragged it into the window. PC turned off again. And now I'm like, huh? This is really weird. So I did try it one more time just to confirm that I wasn't crazy. And on the third try, it did it again. Okay? So then I restarted. I said, well, obviously I'm not going to try to upload this video again. Something is seriously wrong here. And I started to think, what could it be? I said, well, number one, if it's a corrupted file, okay, it shouldn't play. And also I shouldn't be able to do anything with it. I tossed it into the video player. It played fine. I skimmed all through it. 0 errors. Everything's good. Okay? So what about tossing it into my video editor? I put it in the video editor. I'm working with it. It's fine. So what's going on? You know, like what's actually happening? I tried uploading other videos. Fine. No problem. Every other video was fine. It's this one particular raw video that when I try to upload, my PC turns itself off. I've never experienced anything like this ever. In my 18 years as a YouTuber, I've never seen my PC say, I don't like that video, keep it away, or I'm going to turn myself off. Okay? So I started searching online, all right? And basically as I'm searching online, all right, I find a few explanations. Explanation number one is it could be corrupted. But I don't see how it could possibly be corrupted because there's no, it's playing and I can edit it. How could it be corrupted? I don't understand that. Then it says, well, it could be an issue with your power supply. But the thing is, if it's an issue with my power supply, why does every other video upload? Why am I streaming right now? Why is there nothing wrong with the PC unless I'm just specifically trying to upload that one video? Now, the other thing is, they're saying, oh, well, it could have something to do with your hard drive. Except I run on all solid-state drives. You know what I'm saying? It's not, oh, my hard drive needs to be defragged. You don't defrag solid-state drives, right? Like, so it's not going to be that. And by the way, everything is pretty much only a year old. Like, I bought this PC December 2024, so it's only a year and a half old. The SSDs I use, I bought after, like a month or two after. So everything is only about a year and a half old. Why on earth would there be a problem with the hard drives? You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can think of the PC turning off is that basically something with that video file caused either the CPU or something to like actually spike and overheat, and the computer immediately said, don't damage, and turns itself off to prevent damage. But why on earth would you taking a specific video file and uploading it to YouTube in its raw form cause that to happen? I have no clue. Maybe I'm just not technical enough. I'm all new to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But this is the weirdest thing. So how did I solve the problem? I took the video, I put it into the editor, and I ran it through the editor and converted it to a different type. So my raw files, let's take a look at what I record at. My raw video files, I record as .mp4 files, okay? So what I did is I ran it through the video editor at a different encoder. And I think what it does is actually the video files end up being slightly smaller when I run them through the editor. So I just ran it through the editor quick, one pass, and then I uploaded it, and it worked. Sylvania says, for my limited knowledge, sounds like a power issue. The CPU drew too much power with that specific video, or the CPU is overheating. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and how would you find that out? How would I know if my CPU is overheating? Where do you even get that data? I'm sure there's maybe a third-party app perhaps you can install somewhere. So I'm looking at performance right now. My CPU right now is running at 18%. It says, but I don't know how you would see, like, temperatures and everything. I don't know how that works. Base speed is the speed. Yeah, it's not telling me the temperature. this the temperatures here? Nope. What's this? Nope. I don't think this tells you that. Not that I can see. No. So, I don't know. No, I don't have my PC on the carpet floor. That's ridiculous that you would say that. All my stuff is on big stands on wheels with big space between the floor and the bottom of the PC, so it's properly aerated. My cases all have nice ventilation. I have the ability to take the sides off and clean them. I have a thing that I used to blow. It's a fan over there that I have this rechargeable fan that I used to clean it. So you're completely an idiot. That is not. My setup is actually nice now. My setup is like pristine shit. It used to be an atrocity. For a long time, I had the worst setup possible. Since I upgraded, everything's amazing. So I don't want to hear that nonsense. So I'm being told you'd have to access the PC BIOS and you'd have that kind of data in there. Well, okay. I'm not going to do that right now. What's up, Blood Rain? How are you? Welcome to the stream. All right, so guys, last few minutes, let's do a little bit of more Q&A and chill, and then we'll end the show and we'll start with Assassin's Creed. It would be great to get some early support. Thanks to the 2 people who did. Anything appreciated, whether it be some kicks, a sub, a tip, a membership, a super chat. In fact, right now we got 2 super chats today. That's it. Can we get our first tip of the day? Or did we get a tip? Wait a minute. Maybe we did get a tip. We did. We had a $2 tip, right? Never mind. We did get a tip. I forgot. Can we get our first sub of the day? Can we get some kicks over on Kick? Can we get a first membership of the day? Okay, let's get a little bit of stuff going in the right direction here. Get some momentum flowing for the show. MSI Afterburner is great software to track that kind of stuff. Interesting. Maybe I should get it. Exactly. It is weird. It was one specific video. And the weirdest part, short video. Like that DSP pack rips was probably like 15 minutes long. It's not like it was an insanely long, lengthy video. And it was just the camera running while I unpacked cards. It wasn't like, oh, it's a ton of action during a video game with explosions and high, probably high bit rate or nothing. It wasn't. It was a relatively tame video. So why on earth that particular video caused such a problem, I don't know. It's very bizarre. Mercury plays, I am a fan of games like Detroit Become Human. I like those. I like games where you can do, like, choose your own narrative decisions and see what happens, and then, how it changes in branching paths and things that can, be different outcomes. I like that a lot. Yes, Jasper has a particular favorite style of cat toy. He likes those little balls that are made of like cloth or foam, and they have like tinsel on them. We call them koosh balls, but that's not really what they're called. So they're little. They're like this. He likes it because he thinks of them as prey. So he bats them around. He knocks them around the house. He puts it in his mouth. He walks around with it in his mouth like it's a prey that he caught. So he really likes that kind of toy. Did I prefer Marvel 1 over Marvel 2? Marvel vs. Capcom 1 versus Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Marvel 1 was when I got into competitive fighting games. Before Marvel 1, I wasn't ever really playing competitively. It was just casually at my local arcade. When Marvel 2 came out, a whole bunch of tournaments and things started happening in my area, and that's when I started traveling and getting better at playing games competitively. Marvel 1 I like a lot, and it still, it means something to me because that was the game that got me into competitive Street Fighter. But Marvel 2 is a superior game. And, like, if I had a choice, would you like to enter a Marvel 1 or Marvel 2 tournament? Probably Marvel 2. But I love Marvel 1 as well. Oh, People Person wants me to react to this new Resident Evil trailer. Is there a new one that came out? And let's look, I guess. Oh man, I'm already yawning. I should probably get coffee before we start with gameplay. Let's see. Seven days ago? Is this the new one? 7 days ago? Yeah, it's not the teaser trailer. It's a new one. Here it is. So now my morning show is going to get completely claimed for content because I'm about to react to this. I'm used to this. If ever I react to anything, the entire piece of content gets claimed by somebody. So now Sony Pictures will own the rights to my morning show. Ready? All right.
Hey, man, I gotta be 7. Do you know where I can take this? Excuse me, oh my God. Anybody order a kidney or liver, whatever this is? Anybody? It seems like it's kind of important.
Hey, you got time for another run?
No, I'm wrapped up for
It's
the...
outside the zone, so it pays double.
I could
The subtitles are completely lagged, so I'll turn them off.
do that. Sweetheart, I'm sorry, the signal sucks here. Can you hear me?
I'm gonna stay with Katie for a bit, I think.
Michelle, please do not go stay with freaking Katie.
It also hurts my feelings that you don't even care enough to come home and have this conversation.
Seriously, I'm working. This could be some 8-year-old boy's heart or someone's mom's brain.
Ouch. Hello?
Hello? There's an emergency here. I was wondering if I could use your phone.
Hi, you've reached Michelle. Leave a message.
Hey, baby, I'm really sorry that we got disconnected earlier. Some things have happened, and I can't get a hold of police. Bullets. Could you just call me back on this number, please?
What? Why would you go upstairs? It's not your house, right? And you know that there's some weird stuff going on. Why would you continue to invade further into the home? Why would you pick up the gun that they own? Like, all right, maybe he feels like he needs to defend himself because something crazy is going on. Why would you go further into someone else's house with said gun? You'd leave. Wouldn't you? I would leave the house. I would not continue into the house.
Everything that has happened in this town transpired in a matter of hours. You've got no idea what you've got there in your hands.
Yeah, where was it going again?
Raccoon City General.
Hey, no sweat.
Okay. See, I think it looks good as a movie. I don't know if it looks good as a Resident Evil movie. Does that make sense? Oh, by the way, heads up, we detected video in your stream that belongs to someone else, and you may be temporarily shut down. That's what YouTube just told me. So that guarantees that I will not make money on this morning show today, that they're going to demonetize it. Okay? So I would say, here's the thing. I've seen both Barbarian and I've seen Weapons. Okay, I've seen both movies. I like them both. They are very, very disturbing movies. Incredible amounts of like gore and horror. Okay, they're unique movies. They stand out because they're not like other movies, like horror movies. They actually have unique premises. what's the plural of premise? Premises? So they are unique plots, okay? And they're entertaining movies. So I'm curious how this is going to be, what kind of a movie this will be, right? Because it's called Resident Evil, but I don't think it should be. Why? Well, because he outright said, Zach Kregler, whatever his name is, Kreger, he's outright said, so I wanted to make a movie that has nothing to do with the plots of the games, because people have already played the games and they know those plots, and rather than do shot-for-shot recreation, which is a waste of time, or try to do something different with those plots, which everyone will be annoyed by, hence look at the previous Resident Evil movies, right? I just want to do my own thing. To which I respond, that's great. Then do your own thing and don't call it Resident Evil. Why do you need the property? Why do you need the IP to make this movie? Just make your own movie based on zombies. It doesn't have to be Resident Evil. You don't have to call it Raccoon City. You could just make the movie and call it something different. In fact, this guy already has a track record of success, so why does he need the Resident Evil intellectual property? I don't get it. Like, I feel like people would go watch a movie this guy makes just because he's already made a bunch of good horror movies. So why does he need to make a Resident Evil movie? I don't get it. Because now what's going to happen is, no matter what, right? Even if the movie is great, people are going to now compare it to the lore and the worlds of the Resident Evil games. And there's going to be people who are going to be upset and say, well, it's not in line with what we know from the games, right? I mean, take a look at the Fallout TV show. Oh my God, the ghouls are different and this is different. How could this possibly be? Well, in this case, you're calling it Resident Evil. So since you're borrowing the story and the properties of the franchise, you should adhere to the rules of the franchise. But he probably won't. He'll probably say, oh, well, this is different. This is different. It'll be scary. I trust you. It'll be scary. The other two movies that I saw were scary. He is really, really, really good at building suspense with shocking reveals. And he's also very good at a feeling of unease, foreboding, dread. In fact, you know what? That might be the best wording I can use to describe his movies, is the best feelings of dread that I've ever felt watching a movie. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's good. When you get your whole body is just immersed in horror and you're dreadful at what's going to happen, then the movie maker has done a good job, and he does a good job at that. So that's what I would say. And previously, the two movies I saw, Barbarian and then Weapons, they stand out. They are very unique movies. They are like no other horror movies you've seen before. So it's not like, oh, it's the same formula done 10 times. It's not. So that's what I mean. Like, in this case, he's going to be using the Resident Evil IP, and it's like, are people going to be disappointed now because he throws his own unique style at it, which I think he should, but then why call it Resident Evil, right? Like, remember Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within? Many of you probably don't, probably before your time. So in the early 2000s, they wanted to license out Final Fantasy for stuff, and they made a movie called Spirits Within, okay? The movie has absolutely nothing to do with Final Fantasy. Like, zero. I'm not even exaggerating. There's nothing in the movie that has to do with Final Fantasy. But they called it Spirits Within, and it had cool CGI. So, Final Fantasy. People went to see this movie, and for the record, it's not bad. It's a decent movie, but it's not Final Fantasy. So why did you call it that? Oh, well, because we wanted more people to go see the movie, so we licensed the IP. It's like, well, that's dumb. So is that what's going to happen here? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Well, it looks good. It does. It looks like a scary movie. It looks like it'll be full of dread. So, I guess we'll see. But I think it'll be good. Oh, see, that's wrong. This person says, it won't flop like the latest Silent Hill movie that was a true adaptation to the game, but the fans disagreed. Did you see the movie? It's not an adaptation of the game at all. They take some things from the game and then completely change the plot in another part, and it makes the movie terrible. The plot of the game is much better than the plot of the movie that they came up with to change and say, oh, I made it my own. Like, literally every change that they made to that Silent Hill movie is worse than the plot of the game. So they should have just kept the entire plot of the game intact. Oh, all right. Oh, Zanzibar Nights did 100 kicks. I didn't shout it out because I was occupied there. Thank you, Zanzibar Nights. I appreciate that. No, I did not see Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I don't think anyone did. Did they? Did anyone see that movie? Tiger Pim says, how about Resident Evil F? It takes place in Japan. Yeah, why not? Why not just take every horror franchise that's not in Japan and put it in Japan? Just so the Japanese can say it's good. Because that's exactly what happened with Silent Hill F. Like, oh, look, it's Silent Hill, but in Japan. Except it's not Silent Hill at all. It has nothing to do with it. Oh, it's Silent Hill in Japan. And they're like, yay, it's a great game. And all the Japanese rave about it. And like, no, you like it because you got something in Japan. That's why you like it. The game itself isn't that good and actually isn't Silent Hill. And it was a terrible plot. Like, atrocious. It was like awful, you know, really bad manga is what it was. Like a really bad manga. And like, they turned it into a game. Like, oh. It was Asian glazing. That's correct. It was glazing the Asians. It was disgusting. We don't need to glaze them. Starshine Radiance, thank you for a $1 membership. I appreciate that. Thanks for supporting the channel. Mercury plays, I've seen every theory in Final Fantasy VI. I have. I've seen all the theories. All right. I guess we're winding down. We're probably going to end the morning show. And we're going to get set up and get started with Assassin's Creed for today, everybody. I hope you are ready to chill and do some new progress with Edward today. I need my coffee, too. I'm going to go grab my coffee before we start, actually. And I'm going to have it here as we play the first hour because I'm already feeling like, ooh, I need my afternoon coffee. You guys are cool. All right. All right, thanks for a great morning show. Tomorrow, we will do the Level 1 podcast. So tomorrow, it's going to be a cumulative review show. We're going to talk about all the stuff that happened this week. You know, the success of Final Fantasy VI, which I hope continues tonight. We're going to talk about the failure of Palworld, the schedule next week, you know, all this stuff. And hopefully, you guys will come back and hang out with me tomorrow, despite the fact that it's a podcast instead of a morning show, because as you know, it's completely different. Not even close to being the same vibes, right? Very different show. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. And I will see you for Assassin's Creed and, of course, for the podcast tomorrow.